Here we are at question 16 of LSAT PrepTest 157, second section, the first logical reasoning section from LawHub.lsac.org. As always, we should have a highlight tool ready to go, and we read questions 16's STEM first. The child psychologist's conclusion follows logically if which one of the following is assumed. So we're looking for an assumption of this child psychologist's argument. We read the paragraph now, and we will highlight the conclusion at the end. The child psychologist states psychologists have found that most children under the age of 6 are egocentric and selfish in their attitudes towards animals. Ordinarily, it is only between the ages of 6 and 9 that children begin to understand that animals are independent creatures with their own feelings and needs. Hence, most children should not have pets until they are at least 6 years old. So, we should be able to identify the conclusion almost immediately. It's that final statement, the recommendation that most children should not have pets until they are at least 6 years old. And we should track the evidence, which is based on the idea that these children, before the age of 6, are egocentric and selfish in their attitudes towards animals. So, because these children, the ones under 6, are egocentric and selfish, and only after that age will begin to understand that animals are independent creatures with feelings and needs, means that those children under 6 should not have a pet. So, we basically need to link all of these things with our assumption. So, starting with choice A, most children who are egocentric and selfish in their attitudes towards animals rely on others to take care of a pet. Okay, they rely on others to take care of the pet. Okay, does that mean that they shouldn't have pets for children directly under 6 years old? I don't know. I need a whole lot of additional information to relate this to our conclusion, and we should be able to eliminate A immediately. Then choice B, children who are old enough to understand that animals are independent creatures with their own feelings and needs should be allowed to have pets. Well, we're not concerned with the children who are old enough to understand that animals are independent creatures. We're concerned with those who are under 6 that aren't able to understand that animals are independent creatures. So choice B would have no impact on this conclusion's population whatsoever, and we should be able to eliminate it almost immediately. Then choice C, most children who are egocentric and selfish in their attitudes towards animals do not have pets. Well, again, we're making a recommendation. We don't care about the population right now that do or do not have that egocentric and selfish attitude. So we should be able to eliminate choice C almost immediately. Then choice D, most children are egocentric and selfish in their attitudes towards their pets and do not understand that their pets are independent creatures with their own feelings and needs. Well, this doesn't give us anything about the children under 6. It actually talks about all children. So this here is going to go too broad outside of the construct of our argument. So we can eliminate D for that reason. Then we've got choice E, the only children who should have pets are those who understand that their pets are independent creatures with their own feelings and needs. And this is directly the linkage that we should need. And the way that we can test it is through the negation test. Remember that you can always identify a necessary assumption in an answer choice by negating the impact of that choice and then applying it to the conclusion of the argument. And if that argument falls apart, then you've found your necessary assumption, because when you take it away, the whole argument fails. So let's just consider that here for choice E briskly. If we said instead, the only children who should have pets are not those who understand that their pets are independent creatures with their own feelings and needs. Well, then we actually want to give the 6-year-old kids or the under 6-year-old kids pets, because they're the ones that do need to basically learn that concept. So choice E through the negation test proves out to be our necessary assumption. And we also probably were able to identify with our prediction up front of needing the link between that idea of the kids under the age of 6 being egocentric and selfish and needing to understand that animals are independent creatures with their own feelings and needs before being allowed to have pets, as we found in this question.